No,
54.
I'm going on the 55th, but I'm calculating it from the time I started. It was actually October 69. So that'll make 55 in October.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that he's been doing it for a very long time.
You have to get the details, that's important.
And especially he speaks on topics like forgiveness and humility and then this meditation. So he has a lot of realization, a lot of wisdom to give. And so I hope that if you guys have questions at the end or anything that you want to hear from him, please take advantage.
I have lots of realization about humility. After teaching the course, I realized I wasn't humble. So that's my big realization. Yeah.
And just one more thing. If everybody could just scoot up, our room is starting to get packed, and I bet more people in the hall. So if you guys want to scoot up.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, as Janaki was saying, I came here from Florida. I was invited to do a workshop on chanting on beads. So most of you know about chanting on beads or are doing it already. And so it was thought it would be good if I talk about that. And so a lot of you know it to some degree, but we're going to do a little guided meditation that will be perfect for all of you, those who have been chanting for 54 years and those who have never chanted. It will be good for all of you. And I wanted to say a few things about chanting from my experience, and then the exercise will kind of take us to another level. And hopefully you will come out of this 1 hour or however it is, hour and a half, higher than you walked in, better than you came in. Maybe some realizations, epiphanies, something, hopefully. That's my hope. So, as I was saying, we have our own effort, our own strength, our own will, and we have goals in life that we want to achieve, especially if we're talking spiritually, spiritual levels of consciousness that we're, by our own effort, we won't get there. It's not that spiritual perfection that we're looking for, we're not going to be able to do that on our own. So, chanting the Maha Mantra is a process which makes up the difference between what we can achieve and what we need to achieve. So that is, like I was saying last week, it's kind of like getting on an airplane. How fast can you run? 30 miles an hour, get on an airplane, or get in a car, or get in an airplane. So if you want to progress spiritually, you need a spiritual process that you can do every day. That's easy to do, right? You don't have to go to a temple or church to do it, or a mosque. You need a process you can have with you. That's easy to do, and it's super powerful. And it can take you to where you want to go, and it can conquer all the obstacles on the way. And that's what this is, and that's what it does. And that's why it's so amazing. And some of you chant every day, some of you don't. But if you don't, I would recommend it just a little bit, because you don't realize how beneficial chanting is and how powerful it is until you're doing it every day. And even if you're doing it every day, you don't realize how powerful it is if you're not doing it correctly. So it's not just doing it, but doing it correctly. So it's like, if any religion you belong to, you need a process. You need something that's very powerful, that can help you overcome ourselves. That's actually really when you look at the spiritual path and what you have to overcome, the main thing you're overcoming is yourself, your own desire, our own weakness, our own desire, our own lust, greed, anger, envy, all of that. That's really, isn't it? Isn't it really what it's all about? It's not like the enemy's not outside. The enemy's inside. So that's what we're working to conquer, really. It's like you may say, it's the devil. No, it's us. It's our own desire, our own attachment. So wouldn't it be nice to have a process that could dispel that? If you try to overcome lust, anger, greed, envy, etc., attachment, fear, anger, all these things on your own, very difficult. Wouldn't it be nice to have a process that took care of all of it? And you could do it, and it's easy. Well, that's what the Mahamantra is. So that's one of the reasons it's so wonderful, because it's so easy to do. And you can be a yogi, you can have a regular spiritual practice just by doing that. You can be a meditator. And the other thing which is so beautiful about it is that it's not downloading anything into your consciousness, but what it's doing, it's clearing out what's in the consciousness so what you are can be experienced. So it's not like, it's the most natural state you could be in is pure spiritual consciousness. And that's chanting is just removing everything that's covering that consciousness. That's all it's doing. So it's not like, I don't know if this is for me, or no, this is you. It's just all it's doing is uncovering you. It's not like if it's for you or not. You are you, but that you is kind of hidden, lost, right? I think I'm only physical, but the you is, so this you comes out, you as a spiritual being, by chanting, and the consciousness of that you, that spiritual consciousness that comes out, which is bliss, which is love, compassion, all these qualities. So when you chant and you do it well, after some time, you start to feel like this is natural, this is normal. This is like I eat breakfast every morning and for my body, and I chant for my soul. It's just soul food, oxygen for the soul. That's how you feel. And when you don't get the oxygen, you don't feel good. Right? We all know that. Because if you're a spiritual being and you don't feed yourself, how do you feel? You don't feel good. You feel weak. You feel something's missing, something's absent. You ever feel like that? You get what you wanted and you still feel empty. But that's spiritual emptiness, not material emptiness. So this is your spiritual daily oxygen. So a lot of you already know that. It's always good. It's good to hear it. Some of you are not clear about it. I'll try to make it more clear. So we're going to take you on a little guided meditation. Is that all right? It's like you won't go crazy or anything. You won't have hallucinations. I won't brainwash you. Well, I can't guarantee I won't. The chanting will brainwash you, but that's good. Brain needs some washing, doesn't it? This word brainwashing has a very negative connotation. But if you could wash out all the lust, anger, greed, envy, attachment from your brain, wouldn't you sign up for that? Of course. Yeah. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce you to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And so some of you already know the mantra. So those of you who know the mantra, I want you to imagine this is the first time you ever heard it. Like you're going to enter this like it's a new mantra, which, because it's spiritual, it actually is new. Every time you do it, it's new. But so we have 3 new people. You don't have to pretend you're new. You don't have to act, because you are. And so this will all be new to you. And to everyone else, I want you to enter this little guided meditation like you've never heard this mantra, you don't know what it is, and I'm going to introduce the mantra to you through guided meditation. And we're going to facilitate an experience, hopefully, a very strong spiritual experience of connecting with the mantra and what that mantra is and what it means to connect. And for those of you who have been chanting for 54 years or more, this exercise will actually help you immensely also. It's really special. Are you ready? Okay. Thank you. All right. So just The best way to do this is to close your eyes and relax, but don't slump, If you're going to fall asleep, don't close your eyes. But if you're not, you can sit up and just relax. And, take a few deep breaths to help you relax. I'm going to introduce all of you to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. First word of the mantra is Hare. Please repeat after me. Hare. 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 Hare is the female divine. The complete Godhead is both male and female. In Indian philosophy, you may have heard of Radha Krishna, Sita, Ram, Lakshmi, Narayan, male, female, Shiva, Parvati. The complete Godhead is male and female. And the female part is the compassionate part. The female part is the part which pulls us up. The female part personifies the spiritual nature, that energy that pulls us closer to ourselves, our divine essence, and the Supreme. So as we repeat the name Hare, I want you to feel that sound, Hare, vibrating inside of you. Hare, 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 Hare. And now we're going to chant the name Hare, and we're going to feel the sound vibrating in the room outside of us. Hare, 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 Hare. So the divine presence of Hare or Radha is embodied in the sound, the spiritual power of this divine being is existing in sound. So now, as we say Hare, I would ask you to feel the sound vibrating inside of you, feel the sound vibrating outside of you, and be open to receive, feel, and experience the presence of Radha in sound. Hare, 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 Hare. The next word of the mantra is Krishna. Krishna is the name of the Supreme. In Sanskrit, Krishna means all beautiful, all powerful, all knowledgeable, all renounced. The Supreme has everything in full. It also means supreme bliss, supreme bliss. So as we say the name Krishna, I would like you to feel the sound vibrating in your heart. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Now as we say the sound, I would like you to feel it vibrating both in your heart and around you, and be open to feel the presence of Krishna in sound. Krishna, 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 Krishna. The third word of the mantra is Rama. Rama is another name of the Supreme, and Rama means pleasure. Please repeat after me. Rama, 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 Rama. So as we say the name Rama, feel that sound vibrating in your heart. Rama, 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 Rama. Now as we say it, feel that sound vibrating outside of you. Rama. 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 Now, as we pronounce the holy name or holy syllables of Rama, feel the sound vibrating inside of you and outside of you, and be open to feel, to receive, to experience the presence of Rama in sound. Rama. 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 So now you've learned the 3 words of the mantra. We're going to chant the 16 words of the mantra arranged as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And the mantra is up there so you can follow it. And as we chant, we're going to chant the same way we chanted together. We're going to feel the divine presence of Hare, Radha, Krishna, and Rama. These are all persons who personify themselves in these names, and they are present with us when we chant. And when we feel the vibration within us and around us, just allow ourselves to receive it, allow ourselves to receive and experience their presence. You will be in divine presence. And when we're in divine presence, we become purified because he is and she is all pure. So we're going to chant a little bit in unison together, and I will lead you. And again, be open to the divine presence. Feel it in your heart and around you. And I'll start chanting, and then you can chant with me together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Feel that vibration in and outside of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Go a little faster. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I would like you to turn to the person next to you, behind you, in front of you, and pair up and just discuss your experience for the last 10 minutes or whatever it was, 15 minutes. What was your experience of this exercise? Good, bad? Do you have any realizations or whatever? Just discuss whatever comes to mind with your partner. Whoever your partner is going to be. Can you make it less cold in here? Yeah, if it gets too hot, then it's pretty like Trader Joe's cold in here. Anyway, let's see. Because we have to stop at 8 for kirtan.
So that way, your mind is also that's what I do. That's good enough. What do you want me to do? Brother here. you're really good, no?
More better.
So I started going.
You know, it's like nobody gets it.
Oh,
I found this place also.
I don't know, man. Yeah, nobody gets it.
And I love it.
It's a good exercise to engage your mind. But I feel like
I gotta be honest,
it's
I
better
feel
for
like
my mind.
that's that number one, especially the one right. So I've been chanting seriously since I was
Experiencing it every day. Like bread. Don't take it for granted.
But what's interesting in the exercise, I noticed.
wow.
And,
No idea what time it was for
I
the
guess the
last 3
science
days.
of it, like you guys,
Okay, mark the date and get this and see how we can.
Hear my vibration will join.
sometimes we chant out loud.
Yeah, the other one I got was like super thick.
Yeah.
Really, like thickest one I could find because I thought it wouldn't break.
Yeah.
But still,
So I'm,
Yeah, Harish ordered this, so it could be some kind of like super indestructible.
That would be great.
Who knows?
Titanium. That'd be nice. We'll find out.
yeah, usually in my mind, it's like,
A $12
you
casket.
know what? I think it's my late teens, early 20s. I mean, it's not like today, like, yeah, mine was
definitely been something that
yeah, that was
that's the thing.
I applied it.
Growing up, it's you almost take it for granted. I don't know, like when you grow up. So I feel like the last but growing up Christian, what you
I was always curious and I've never seen my ex all of that last year.
take a moment and see.
Why that should say that.
Okay. I hate to stop you. The problem is the clock's not stopping. If the clock stopped, we could go on. But we want to hear from you. We want. We're going to start kirtan in 7 minutes. So we wanted to hear from you what your experience was, and also if you have any questions that you could ask them now. So would anyone like to share the experience they had? Or share what you were, we want to hear what you were sharing with your partner. We don't want you to keep it secret because it'll be beneficial for us. Oh, yeah.
I had difficulty with like the definitions, the Hari with the male, female, and compassion and all of that, and then the Krishna with the beauty and Rama with the pet. That was easier, but trying to, as I chant, to get faster, deal with these definitions, and then also deal with the vibrations and just.
Too complicated?
It's not too complicated, it's too much tasking, doing too many things at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, that's true. But it's kind of like learning to drive a car. Once you learn, then it'll all merge and you won't have to even.
But one thing
Yes.
that it did clear out that mind going off into other places, it did kind of clear that up a little.
Okay, I have a New York experience. 'Cause I used to do business, and I'd have to come to New York and try to finish chanting my rounds walking down Broadway at like 1 o'clock. And I had done this exercise where I was really conscious when I'm chanting Hare Krishna, like I feel the vibration, like I feel it in my body. So I'd walk down the street, it was all distracting, everything. But because I was chanting and feeling the vibration, my whole consciousness was just in my heart. And so even though I was on the street, it was like I really didn't, it wasn't a bad place to chant, but normally it would be. So that's something, just to take on board. Hey, you just feel it, and that's where your mind goes. Like, because anything you experience that you're aware of brings you to the present. And if you're in the present, your mind doesn't wander. So if you're feeling the vibration, you're in the present. And what's so interesting is sometimes when we chant, we say, I don't feel anything. And I say, wait a minute, you do feel something, but you're not feeling what you're feeling. You're not aware of what you're feeling. So this is an awareness of that. Vibration is always there when we're chanting. Now we become aware of it. So that's what mindfulness means, to be aware of what you're not aware, but that's existing. And then that brings you in the present. And your mind is like, it's with you. It's right there. Isn't that nice? That's what I was just explaining academically what happened to your mind. Hope that wasn't making it more complicated. Yes.
Would you like to show how to hold the beads, and do we have to put it close to the heart?
If you like putting it close to the heart, that's nice. Yeah. This is the head bead. We start here. These 2 fingers. We chant one mantra. This part of the finger connects to the heart chakra. And these beads that we chant on are Tulsi. Tulsi is sacred, so we're touching something that's purifying us. And so, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Next bead. It's a mechanism for counting. So if you want to take a vow to chant a certain amount, like 1 round, 2 rounds, that you're automatically counting by doing that. That's the point. That's the purpose.
And are we using the index finger to move the beads?
We don't use index finger. It's inauspicious. We don't use it. Okay. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because my fingers don't always do what I tell them to do. So, and we have beads here. If you any of you who don't have beads, who want to get beads, so you can start chanting. And the beads also help you a little in fixing your mind. Yeah. I chant when I walk. I take walks almost every day and I chant. So I chant so much walking with my beads that I don't know how to walk and not chant. It's just naturally, I'll just walk. And let's go for a walk. I'll take my beads. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So it keeps you. It's like you want to make a commitment. I want to do this every day. So many rounds, and so you count it with it. You make that vow. You do 1 or 2 or 4, whatever. And if you want to increase, then after you're steady for a while, you increase. And that becomes your morning spiritual breakfast before you go out in the world. So those of us who chant, we couldn't imagine facing the world without chanting. It'd be like, it's like fasting, isn't it? It's like, how am I going to, what to speak of facing New York City like without chanting? I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if you can survive. So this is it, then you have a daily spiritual practice, and then your day is going to change. If you take the consciousness you create while you're chanting out into your life, you'll be more connected, you'll be more tolerant, compassionate, kind, humble, all the good divine qualities that are there. Is that all right? Anyone else want to share? something. I know you're all brimming with realization that you're too humble to say anything. Yes.
Sometimes when I chant, I do feel something, and it's really scary, and it's like a good scary feeling, and then I get afraid, and then I stop wanting to feel that feeling, so I like back out of it.
Afraid what? You're coming too close too fast? Too close to Krishna too fast? Or what? And you don't know, you don't know what's on the other side, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know what's on this side, and this side's not that great. Right? So here's another way of looking at the other side. It's like, oh, finally I'm on the other side. I'm out of this side. So, you could also look at it that way. And you could also look, I don't know what's on the other side, but I know it's better than this side. Right? Otherwise you wouldn't be here if you didn't know that. Right? And the other thing is like, it's like, well, what's on the other side? Surrender, but surrender is not an option. It's not like if I don't surrender to God, I won't surrender to anything. So that's kind of, it's a false fear. Like I'm afraid to surrender. No, but you don't have a choice. Right? If you fall in love, you surrender. Right? If you get a job, you have to surrender to the company and what they want of you. Right? If you go to school, you have to surrender to the teacher. And we have to surrender to old age, death, rebirth, like that. So, and if I like something and becomes a hobby, I kind of I surrender a lot of money to that hobby and a lot of time, right? So, but that surrender it's not satisfying us. So that surrender you're afraid of is the one surrender that will satisfy you. It'll give you everything you want. That we should reframe it like that. So that when you get in that zone and you're getting so much mercy, you don't turn off the faucet. Yeah, and what you can do also is like Prabhupada would say, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he would say, try it. If you don't like it, open the faucet up and see what happens. If you don't like it, you can close it. Because he knows we'll like it. Maybe when we open it up, it's a little frightening, but when we actually touch the water, we like it. So you can make an experiment. Next time that happens to you, you can say, okay, this time I'm going to go with it and see what happens. What do you think? You're willing? You can do that? Maybe. Yeah, try. Let me know how it is. I already know it's good. I've been there. Yes. It's a very interesting point she's making, that we all are very attached to our independence and our control. And so the idea of surrendering to a divine being makes us feel like we lose independence and control, right? But how much independence and control do we have? Not a whole lot, right? So we're not losing a lot. There's a lot of control we don't have. But what if you gave your independence to someone and control to someone who could control you and your life better than you could? That would be good, wouldn't it? I mean, look at how we're doing. People say, I don't need a guru. I say, that's fine. But that's what you said in the last life, and the life before, and the life before, and the life. And that's why you keep coming back, because you said, I don't need a guru. I'll do it myself. I'll figure it out myself. I'll achieve perfection myself. But we've been saying that forever. That's why we're still here. So there's a reluctance to trust. Trust, right? And reluctant to trust. But he's the only one we can trust. So trusting the wrong person is not good. And not trusting the wrong person is good. So he's the person we should trust the most, because he can help us the most. And he, even though we give up so-called independence, he gives us much more than we could ever give ourselves. Yes?
I got a question.
Yes.
Why is it that the more we trust in God,
Why what?
why is it that more we trust in God, the more difficult our life gets?
Not always. Well, I think one of the reasons it looks like it gets difficult is because anytime you try to do something that's difficult, it's difficult, right? So we're taking to spiritual life and we're saying, okay, I'm going to give up sinful activities. I'm going to give up certain activities, and I'm going to adopt a certain lifestyle. So that's automatically makes your life more difficult. And when you try to control yourself, sometimes it seems like you get more out of control. So it seems it's the difficulty is the transitioning to being able to give up the things that are harming us, that we're habituated to and addicted to. And so a lot of the difficulties are more imaginary, or not imaginary, but as a result of trying to be controlled. And sometimes the difficulties come because they help us become stronger. Because you like there's some lessons we could never learn unless there was a difficulty. Unless we went through a difficulty, we could never learn. We couldn't learn it by reading a book, hearing a story. We just have to go through it. And so God knows that. And if He wants you to learn something, like, okay, let's go through this because you will get it. And you know that. You have experience of it, right? And when you learn the lessons, then your life is not going to be difficult. There's no need for it to be difficult. Then it'll be just the opposite. It'll shower you. And then there's also karma. We all have karma as well. So that plays out to some degree. So it's like I'm taking to spiritual life. It doesn't mean now everything totally, my body changes. My income changes overnight. I become famous overnight. It's not like that. And that wouldn't even be good.
I have one more question. When you're talking about karma, at what level extent that gets to? Because I talked to one of my friends, Nityananda, and he told me that we can even start paying in their lifetime the karma of our parents or grandparents. That something that they did, sometimes we are actually paying it.
It's so, we understand the general principle of karma, but it's much more complicated than what people make it. And so there's so many factors that affect it, or karma. And it's not wise if someone is suffering, they'll have to try to contemplate why is this happening? What am I meant to learn? What did I do, if anything? Because sometimes you get karma from you get other people's karma. Like you get your children's karma. Guru gets the disciples' karma. President gets the citizens' karma. So it may not even be your karma, but then you inherited the karma of a leader, his bad karma showering on the country. I mean, it's not so black and white. So you like a kid is abused physically or sexually, 5 to 6 years old, and you tell the kid, well, you must have done that to someone in your last life. But then the kid's already destroyed, and that would for sure destroy that kid because they would feel like they're the worst thing in existence because they deserve that. So that's a misuse. That's a misuse, misapplication, misexplanation. So, and even if that were true, but that's something an individual has to come to understand. And how do we know it's true? Absolutely. you know, because in a situation like that, something bad happens and you just say, well, you just deserve it. Well, what about the organization that did it, that allowed it to happen? They're not bad because it's just your karma. See, that's how people misunderstand karma. And then the responsibility goes away from the organization, even the person that did it. Well, he's just an agent of your karma. And then the organization doesn't have to bear responsibility. Well, it's not our fault, it just happened because we can't live like that. It's not logical. So we have to be careful how we understand karma. I don't know if that answered your question. But it's not always, yeah.
It's really about our reaction to whatever's happening.
Yeah, that's there also. A lot of times people will say, this is my karma. And I'll say, well, how do you know? You don't even know. That was your karma. No, you just yelled at this guy and he's yelling at you. That's your karma for yelling at him. It wasn't like last life or anything. So that's there. And like you're saying, even if you have a bad karmic situation, you may react to it in a mature way and it doesn't bother you. Or it doesn't bother you as much. We're supposed to have kirtan at 8 o'clock, except it's not 8 o'clock. What time does this program end? 10:30? No.
Maybe we can take one more question.
Okay, one more question.
Mine was not so much a question, more of a statement. When it comes to like chanting, I feel that it's maybe like painful or uncomfortable to like get closer to Krishna or God. It's not so much painful, but I think it's like we shed layers of ourselves. It's like shedding skin, and it's kind of that deconditioning process. And any form of change is uncomfortable. And I think that being uncomfortable can be mistaken for painful. And that sometimes it's just that we're in a state of change, which is uncomfortable.
That's a good one. But that kind of change can also be comfortable for some people. Because it's like you want that change. But it is a lot of people, it's people are afraid of experiences when they don't know what's on the other end. That's normal psychology. But you see, we have people on the other end who can tell you what it's like. And they're not saying, wow, that was heavy. I don't know if I go there again. They're saying, no, come, it's good. You'll like it. It's blissful. You'll be happy. But you know this story. This man's trying to cross the river, and they say, well, he's got all these rocks, and they're telling him, well, put your rocks down, because if you carry those rocks, you're going to drown. So the rocks are all the material attachments. So if we try to go to the other side with those attachments, then we won't experience the bliss. It's like eating something sweet, but you have something bitter in your mouth. So you can't taste the sweetness. I mean, you can taste it, but you can't relish it because you have something bitter. So you ever heard the word sweet surrender? So it's nice to package surrender as something sweet, because then you'll want to do it. If you package it as something difficult or perhaps dangerous, then it's going to be hard. But you can change that word surrender to take shelter. It's easier to take shelter, right, than surrender. Because the actual word surrender is sharanam, which means shelter. So if Krishna says, come here and take shelter of me, well, that sounds good, doesn't it? I'll take care of you. Whatever you lack, I'll give you. I'll give you intelligence. I'll give you whatever you need. Sounds good to me, doesn't it? Yes? So we're supposed to end at 8:20? Is that true? So we pull the plug out of the clock at 8:20?
8:30.
We'll do kirtan until someone tells me to stop. How's that? And even if they tell me to stop, that's difficult. Okay, well, thank you for listening. I hope there's some benefit. And all I can say is chanting is extremely beneficial, powerful, blissful. It's just like everything you could want in life, it's there within that mantra. Believe it or not, it will come out of it as you progress.